Dixie here. Today I want to introduce another pack that I'm aiming to test out on my through hike of the Pinhoti Trail, and that is the Ohm 2.0 by ULA Equipment. I've been hearing about ULA brand packs since my through hike of the Appalachian Trail in 2015. I saw folks using them out there. They were very pleased with them. Also, folks have commented on videos on this channel recommending ULA packs. Another reason I wanted to test this pack is because I've eventually got to decide what I'm taking with me on my through hike of the TA in New Zealand. And right now in the running, I've got the Z-Packs Arc Hall, the Gossamer Gear Mariposa, and potentially the ULA Ohm 2.0. The Ohm 2.0 is made out of ULA 400 fabric, unless you order the camo version, and that's made out of 500 Cordura fabric. If you look at the ULA Equipment website, they have several different packs available, but I narrowed in on the Ohm 2.0 because I was looking for the sweet spot between pack weight, so the weight of the actual pack itself, and then the carrying capacity weight of the pack, so the max load that the pack can take in it and carry comfortably. The CDT, for example, which is one of their pack options, not the CDT as in Continental Divide Trail, but anyway, it weighed only 24 ounces itself, which sounded really nice, but the max load on that one is 18 pounds, so that's what they recommend your pack weight being, and there's just no way with the gear that I carry, especially the camera equipment, that would work for me. The Ohm 2.0 weighs 34.5 ounces, or at least the medium length torso with a medium hip belt. Of course, that's going to vary based on the individual, and the pack capacity weight, so the max load that should be on the pack, is 30 pounds. Another thing I considered was the volume of this pack, and it's 63 liters, which is going to be plenty enough for everything that I'm going to want to carry with me, including my video equipment. In addition to being able to choose a variable torso length and hip belt size, you can also customize the straps on the Ohm 2.0. So there's the option of the standard J strap or the S strap as an alternative. The J straps are the traditional straps and work best for average builds. The S straps are best for women and men with square shoulders and good posture. My posture sucks and I have a small frame, so I ordered the J straps. Another customizable option for the Ohm 2.0 is the type of closure. So you can either have a cinch top closure or a roll down clip together type closure. I opted for the roll top feature just because the packs that I've had lately do have that type of closure and I prefer it. I think the only pack that I've had that didn't have that roll top closure is the Osprey pack that I carried on the AT. But anyway, for that option, it is $15 extra, but that's worth it to me. And finally, you can actually customize the color of your pack. This is a new option that they've added since I ordered mine. I would have gone with black anyway because I just don't really like my packs to be super colorful. That's a personal preference. But for somebody who really does want their pack to look different and to have a bright color, then this might be a selling point for you. So it is an option. They do have standard colors that you can choose from. To add the customized color, you will have to pay extra, but it's an option if you're interested in that. And then if you really want to get fancy with it, they will embroider your trail name on your pack for an additional $15. So those are all of the customizable options that you can use to make your pack look a little bit different than everyone else's, or, you know, at least you get to pick some of the things that you prefer. But there are some features that come standard with the Ohm 2.0 regardless of the other features that you select, so let's go over those. First of all, the suspension is unique to what I've seen before in any other pack. They have what is called the suspension hoop, and it's just an aluminum stay that's more or less in a hoop shape. You can kind of see the outline of it on the inside of the pack. But I guess this just helps to distribute the weight a little bit differently and is supposed to help with your comfort level while you're carrying it. Of course, I haven't gotten to test it out yet, but I'm interested in this to see if it really does make a difference, and I'll let y'all know if I can tell a difference after I get to test it out. Then there is an internal pad holster. It actually comes stock with a thin little pad on the inside. I suppose if you use a closed cell phone pad to sleep at night, you could probably fold it and then put it in that pocket instead, and it might help add a little stability to the pack, but I'm just gonna go with how it comes stock. It has a very cushiony and sturdy like hip belt and shoulder straps, an adjustable sternum strap, a large mesh pocket on the outside, which I feel like is a must on a pack to be able to put rain gear and anything else you want to store and make easily accessible during the day. There are 2 large water bottle holders on either side of the pack, and they don't have your typical stretchy material around the top. Instead, it has a little cord that you can cinch down, which I feel like is actually more useful if you're not carrying a whole lot in those pockets, so you can help cinch down, because sometimes that elastic band on the top of cup holders just really isn't enough. But being able to cinch it down however much you need to should help with holding things in there. There is compression cordage on either side of the pack as well, so you can help secure tent poles to the side of your pack if you needed to, if they're down in one of the cup holders. Or maybe you don't have a full pack, and instead of having your stuff flopping around in there, you can cinch that down and just make everything a little bit more compact and compressed. And there's one ice-axe / other item gear loop on the bottom center of the pack. I did notice that this pack doesn't have the dual loops on the bottom like a lot of packs do. I like those just in case I decide to carry my tent on the outside of my pack for the day, because say it rained on it all night and I kind of want it to dry out the best it can in the stuff sack on the bottom of the pack instead of shoving it down on the inside. But considering this pack has a 60+ liter capacity, there will be plenty of room on the inside. If you're one of those people who does like those dual loops and that's a deal breaker for you though, this pack does like that. There's a load lifter attached to each shoulder strap, and the hip belt is actually adjustable on the y-axis if you're familiar with math. It can slide up and down. It's just velcroed in there, and that helps fit it better to your individual torso, because I've been one of those folks who's on the borderline of torso lengths and packs, and it's been frustrating because I'm like, man, I could just use just a little bit more on this to make it more comfortable, or a little bit less. So I do like that you can adjust the hip belt, slide it up or down to make it fit the individual better. One feature that I thought was pretty cool about this pack, even though I won't probably use it, is it has 2 hydration ports from the inside to the outside. So if you're one of the folks that drinks out of a bladder and hydration tube, then you get to pick whether you want the tube to be on your right shoulder or your left shoulder. And I just think that that's awesome for folks who aren't right-hand dominant, or if you are right-hand dominant but you would prefer your camera or something else to be on that right side than having your hydration tube there, then it gives you the option. And like I said, I won't be drinking out of a hydration bladder, but I just thought that it was cool that they do allow people to choose. Those are all of the fixed features on the pack, but there are some removable options if you want to shed a little bit of weight from your pack. One of those is a hydration sleeve. It weighs 1.4 ounces. I'm going to take mine out because, as I mentioned, I won't be using a bladder to drink from. Another one is the internal stash pocket, and this one weighs 1.1 ounces. I'll probably end up ditching it, but it's actually kind of cool just to have quick access to things like your wallet, so they don't get tucked down inside your pack and then you freak out on the day you get to town wondering where you put your wallet. It's just right there and easily accessible, or any other thing that you might need to grab out quickly, but you want it on the inside of your pack and not on an outside pocket where it could fall out potentially. Then on either shoulder strap, there are little water bottle holsters. So this is just where you can cinch down a water bottle to have easy access to it right there. I suppose you could use it for other things too if you wanted to, but total that weighs 0.8 ounces, so less than an ounce. The foam pad that I mentioned on the inside of the pack, it weighs 1.5 ounces. Like I said, I'm going to keep that there just to add a little bit more rigidity and more cushion, but if you wanted to, I suppose you could remove it, especially if you're going to add your own sleeping pad in there. And finally, there's a hand loop on either of the shoulder straps on this pack. And at first I wasn't quite sure what they were for, but they're just to kind of have a place to rest your hands when you don't know what to do with your hands on trail. So this would be particularly for folks who don't use trekking poles, or if you've got your trekking poles in your pack and you're taking a break from using them. So just something to do with your hands. And then also, I guess, if you kind of pull down and pull forward, it can help relieve some of the weight from your back and your shoulders. I've never seen this on a pack before, so I think it's pretty cool. I might test them out just to see if I like them enough to keep them and if it really does relieve a lot of the weight from my shoulders and my back while I'm walking. But I'm pretty in love with my trekking poles, so I don't see myself collapsing my trekking poles down to use these, but I might be surprised and really like them. But if you want to ditch them, they weigh 0.8 ounces, so you could save close to another ounce of weight. All in all, if you got rid of all of these features, you'd be saving 5.6 ounces from the pack. For me, having a medium length torso and a medium hip belt, the pack weighs 34.5 ounces. So if I took these off, I could have a sub 2 pound pack. And for how sturdy and durable this pack seems, and I think it's actually going to carry weight pretty comfortably, then that's really not a bad pack weight. The price for the Ohm 2.0 is $225 as is, so the way it comes just standard. And then of course if you add certain features or customize it in certain ways, then you might be looking at some extra charges. I had to add $15 for the roll top design. So total for me, this pack was $240, and I think it's a pretty solid pack. Pretty lightweight, seems very durable. I think it's going to be rigid enough to be comfortable carrying the weight that I'm going to carry, but I will let y'all know after I test it out. If you've used this pack before, I would love to hear your feedback. And if y'all have any other packs that you highly recommend, then feel free to leave that in the comments and I might consider testing it out also. Well, that's all I have for you today. I'm really looking forward to testing this pack out. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we will see y'all next time.